Australia is a country on the Australian continent that covers the entire continent that included the countries of New Zealand and the island of Tasmania and New Zealand. New Zealand an island country just off the coast of Australia. It consists of two main land masses, the North Island and the South Island, along with 700 other islands. Pacific Islands. These are the islands north of Australia off the Coral Sea, referred to as the South Pacific Islands. The list is seen on the map. Melanesia is a subregion of Oceania, and if you look at the map up top you'll actually see that some of it just along the top of the map. New Guinea and I believe the Solomon Islands are part of the bottom section of this region known as Melanesia. Micronesia is actually the Federated States of Micronesia. It's a country in Oceania region and it includes about 600 islands across the Pacific Ocean. It is made up of 4 island states which are not that important except for the island of Yap, a paradise. The others are unpronounceable. These islands clustered are to the right of Australia, east, on a map which is considered, I would think, the southeastern Pacific in the direction heading towards Central America and South America. These islands are scattered about the Pacific.
Now you'll notice here, and she did mention Yap in her lecture, you'll notice here that it's concentrating on the islands north of Australia and over here in this area, which you really can't see, which would be northeastern of Australia, and it would be considered part of the South Pacific Ocean. All right. Let's continue with Polynesia because that is actually a subregion. It overlaps many of the other regions which all have generic names. Don't let it confuse you. Just be able to have a general idea of what it is.
Polynesia is not a country, it is a subregion of Oceania made up of more than 1,000 islands scattered about Central and Southern Pacific and can include members of the Melanesia Federation. Hawaii is considered part of Polynesia as well as all of those islands in that area of the South Pacific. Eastern Highlands, also known as the Great Dividing Range, it is a Cordillera system in eastern Australia with a large collection of mountains. Cordillera means mountain.
Now I just want to point something out with this map. This is east of Australia. This is Western Australia. These areas in here are color-coded. They'll be mentioned in the definitions. It already talked about the Eastern Highlands, which has the blue arrow pointing toward it. That is the area along the coast that is mountainous, and the others will fill you in now.
Interior lowlands area shown with red arrows west of the Appalachian, Eastern, Highlands and east of the Great Plains. The interior lowlands are rolling flat with many rivers, broad river valleys and grassy hills. Great agriculture. Great Artesian Basin. As you look at the map above, the area beneath the red arrows by the word Australia is the area that constitutes the Great Artesian Basin. It surrounds all the agricultural land on the west. Aquifer. The area under the Great Artesian Basin maintains a huge underground lake that serves as a reservoir. Western Plateau. This is Australia's largest drainage division and is composed of almost all rock. Ancient rock. It covers 2/3 of the continent, as you see indicated by the color on the map above. Ayers Rock, a massive sandstone monolith rock located in central Australia marked on the map. Kangaroos marsupial, originally from South America that is now native to Australia. South Island, the southern island of New Zealand that is renowned for mountains, lakes, glaciers. North Island. The North Island of New Zealand is known for its cosmopolitan cities, volcanic activity in numerous national parks. It houses the capital of New Zealand, Auckland.
Okay, so here's your map again. And you have the interior lowlands, which are right here between the coastal and, as you can see, the Great Artesian Basin, which covers this whole area here under the red arrows. Over here on the aquifer is located in here, and over here on the Great American Artesian. I'm sorry. The scroll it down just a bit. That brown area is the Western Plateau, which takes up a huge part of Australia, and that is almost uninhabitable. Now we'll get into things like Aborigines and the capital of Australia, which is Sydney. You saw the capital of New Zealand over here, the two islands, the North Island, the South Island. The North Island having the capital of Auckland, Auckland, and that's about it for this set.
Auckland.